Okay, so for the venipuncture, I'm using this, and it has the vein in there. First thing I would do is perform proper hand hygiene for this, and then I'm going to don gloves. And I've placed all of the appropriate equipment on the bedside table, and I picked the gauge for the patient that is appropriate. So for this patient, I'm using 22 gauge needle, 1 inch. And first I'm going to start by opening all the packages and then preparing the extension tubing. So I'm going to take this off, making sure not to touch the sterile portions. I'm going to, okay, there's no air bubbles and the saline has gotten all the end. I'm going to make sure that the end stays sterile. Then I'm going to take the tourniquet out of here, and if I had a real arm, I would take this tourniquet and wrap it around 4 to 6 inches above the site that I am choosing. I can't do that on this, so I'm just going to pretend that I've done that. Now that the tourniquet is on, I'm going to find a pulse in the vein, and I'm going to say that I found it. Then I'm going to clean the vein, or sorry, excuse me, the site. If I had the other cleaning material, I would do for 30 seconds back and forth, but I have alcohol, so I'm going to do it in a circular motion from the center outward. Okay, and then I would allow it to dry completely. And then I'm going to take the needle with the bevel up. I'm going to anchor the vein with my non-dominant hand, and then once I see blood return, I would advance it about 1/4 of an inch in, and then with my pointer finger, I'm going to advance just the catheter, all the way to the point of insertion, and then I'm going to remove the needle and now that it's completely in, I would put this in the sharps container, and I'm going to quickly attach the lower lock, making sure not to touch the sterile ends. And now that that is secure, I'm going to aspirate for blood return. Once I see the blood return, I'm going to inject the saline. And once I've injected the saline, I'm going to close the clamp. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to close the clamp on the piece. And once it's closed, I'm going to remove the saline port, and now I'm going to secure the catheter first, excuse me. Okay, and once that's secure, I'm going to need to take this off, and I'm going to coil the extension tubing and tape it next to it. Sorry. Now that that is secure, I would label this with the date and time that I did the IV, as well as the gauge and length of the needle and my initials. Then I would remove these gloves and discard of everything appropriately. The needle would have gone in the sharps container, everything else would go in the appropriate trash can, and then I would perform hand hygiene. And then I would leave, and now I'm coming back to discontinue the IV. I'm going to perform hand hygiene and don new clean gloves. Okay, and I'm going to first remove the dressing and the tape. While securing the catheter piece. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And then I would take the sterile gauze and put it above the insertion site and remove the catheter and maintain pressure for about 30 seconds. I'm going to inspect the catheter, make sure that it's not broken, that it's the appropriate length, and it is. So then I would discard the catheter in the sharps container. And after holding pressure for 30 seconds, I would make sure to tape the dressing to the patient. Now that that's secure, I'm going to remove my gloves. I would discard of everything appropriately again and perform hand hygiene.